everybody, it's Julie, and I've been asked to do a video of how I do my junk journals, so I'm going to do this in parts. I'm going to start with the cover because that is now where I start. Before I would get my book together, and I need to know how it's going to fit in the cover, so I'm going to do the cover first. And I have chosen this Reader's Digest book from 1981. So that makes it actually vintage. It's what, 30 years old and it's vintage? Not antique, but vintage. And I'm gonna use it, and I may leave these colors. I have 2 books I'm working on, and so we'll see. So I personally like the inside of this book, and will probably use it. Oh yeah, I want to make sure I get this picture out. That is classic Volkswagen picture. So I am going to be giving the guts of this book to my friend who is making some of those folded paper books, and but I like to keep the pictures. So first thing I'm going to do is go through and take out the pictures if they are something that I don't know, but maybe for Halloween. Kind of scary looking, eerie. Okay, and I actually have a couple that I think I'm going to want to go ahead, and a couple of the Reader's Digest that I picked up, that there's a couple stories that I think I might actually want to read. So yeah, so I go through, make sure that see if there's anything that I'm gonna want. Anyway, and then what I do is you take the book and you go ahead and push down. Oh, first of all, you want to make sure that your book comes apart at the top here, okay? And that way you're going to be able to slide the whole entire book and cut it out. So I don't know if you can hear that, but you can take this and push it down, and then we're able to just take our X-Acto knife or some type of cutting tool and cut right there up against the spine. So now we're going to, and I want to make sure that I have this page. And I really like this picture. I think I'm going to put that in my journal. It's called Wild October. And there was one more. Okay. So I may go through later and find some more. So now we're going to push it and push it down. See how it just, this is a Reader's Digest, like I said. I have chosen a couple of sizes so that when I'm just making a journal and you know, I just need to make stuff. I thought if I picked 2 sizes, I could be making inserts even if I didn't have the book cover. Especially like the Reader's Digest, it's like their feast or famine. I can find 10 of them, or I can find none. Okay. This side was a little harder. Could be because I'm right-handed. I don't know. Oh no, I just broke my book. Okay. Well, there. Okay, so we pull the whole piece out, and this is going to be okay because we're going to reinforce this here because we were going to cover this anyway. So because I ripped the back of the spine of my book a little bit, I'm actually going to use this duct tape. I was planning to use this on my Halloween stuff, but we'll go ahead and use it here. Oh, my scissors don't want to cut through. Oh, good. Got a new pair here. I actually had to buy a new pair of scissors. Okay, what I should have done to save tape is I should have done two. Okay, I want to go deep into the fold there. This is going to give strength back to our spine. Like I said, I'm doing this step because I compromised the spine when I was cutting it. Okay, so go deep in the corner there and then pull it out on the outside. Okay, then we're going to come up, try and get it as flat as we can. Cut that off and go here, and then you go as deep as you can into these wells. Okay, come down, do the same thing down here, push it down, pull it apart, and push it on. Okay, so I feel much better about that. We are going to cover this because, you know, we were an old spine anyway. So I'll show you with just two, because the compromise was on the side, not in the center. Now the thing about this is it will, because I'm using a glued medium here, it will be, you want to pay attention to your needle when you're binding. So when we get to the binding part, we may notice I have a little trouble going through, and it'll be because of the adhesive. Okay, come back down, and again, those. Okay, so we go back over here, make sure our crevices are there. And you know, for a really junk journal, you could just do that, and you would have the beginning of a Halloween cover. Interesting, huh? Which makes me wonder, okay, so there we have our cover. Now we want to work it so that it will close again. Okay. Okay, back to the Halloween book, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some purple to the inside pieces, and I'm going to do this really technical way of measuring by putting it to the edge where I want it, coming over here and using my thumbnail to mark where I want it to go to. Okay, so because I've used this fancy duct tape, I don't have to go quite as far in, and I want it to show because it, to me, looks like Halloween. Okay, so there, And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing at the top with just using our measuring fingernail to cut the page. And I measure each page rather than cutting 2 pages at one time because sometimes things are a little different. So that's just how I do that. So that is going to go on there. This can be used for a flip or something inside, probably. If I fold it now, then I will remember that, wow, this was going to be used for a flip. So I'm just folding it down. And guess what? It's not quite it's not quite square. So we'll pick one side to be square. Be there or be square, and then we'll cut the other side. It actually won't matter because it's going to be a flip. So what I'm thinking, now if this was like a really cool pattern, then you could do it that way and have it flip. And see, this is it's gonna be glued here and here, and this is gonna become a pocket. But by doing it this way, you don't have to worry that they're gonna see that and that it will look messy. So, okay, so I have a pocket ready. So there's that one. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So rather than show you the same thing for the other side, we're just going to go ahead and make sure there is nothing on it. And we're going to go ahead and attach our glue. So I go up pretty close to the edge. This glue does come up off of most surfaces. I've discovered. So I mean you're it may be different for you. I'm trying to think the way they legally say that. Your findings may be different because of different circumstances or something like that. Okay, so there. And this is some purple paper that I have that I had gotten years ago at Tuesday Morning, and it was a whole package of just this printed paper. And I think that it is going to look very nice for Halloween. So here we have the inside covers with the purple paper. Again, I did the measure it with your fingernail, make a slice, cut it. Measure with your fingernail, make a slice, cut it. Did it on both sides, and then press it down. And so we are keeping the original cover on this, but we did doctor it up with this lacy duct tape, and yeah, I think the metal looks really, really awesome. So I did want to show you, I have pulled out this Miss Elizabeth's Halloween paper. This is from years ago. Like 8 or 9, maybe even more years ago. Probably more than that. Probably when I was working at Vaughn's over there. So before 1994. Or no, before 2006. So these, and then I will, these are the papers. So we have the little trick or treat with the bats, the jack-o'-lanterns. This is really cool. It always comes with some sketch ideas for scrapbooking. And this little witch. And I have already used these papers before in scrapbooking myself. There should be one more. Yeah, there it is with the little cat and the little mouse. So, so I will be using these in this book. I will be cutting these out and utilizing these pieces from the packaging as well, because I do like to use everything. So, okay, and we're on to the Halloween book. I have pulled out a napkin, and I'm gonna Mod Podge it onto my book, and we are going to set it at an angle so that we can get the whole Happy Halloween. We're going to go ahead and cut this off. And we might be going more for this type of a Halloween look for this book instead of the cutesy. I may save the cutesy for my smash book that I am making. You know, it's Halloween, probably should rip it rather than cut it. A little more distressed. Okay, so I'm just ripping around the words, and on this particular set of, I got these at Joann's napkins, and they you're gonna get two of each design. You're gonna get this bird cage and this, and you're gonna get it 2 times. So that's pretty cool. So we'll also be able to do some packing tape with this, and I have those big circles, so I might even be able to do like the pumpkins or something, or maybe this. We'll see if it fits. Anyway, we're going to go ahead, and again, I'm using just the original cover here, and I think we'll go ahead and rip that. Let's come in a little more. And we will go ahead and rip around the bottom of this pumpkin. Okay. So. Okay, so there we go. I am going to go ahead, and unfortunately I think we're going to rip through one of these bats because I don't want it to come over the front of the spine this time. Okay, so we will make that edge. And we'll come in a little more on the end over here. Cool thing is, this is a junk journal, so okay, so I have some Mod Podge here. This one is the matte. I'm going to go ahead and I might be going to get the other. This is pretty goopy. I'm not going to use this on this. Okay, so and again, I'm going from the center and going out and covering the birdcage napkin with the Mod Podge. So our Halloween cover is ready for some embellishments, and I will be doing that next.